Retirees are forced to go back to work. They're being forced to. Yeah, you better not retire because this will be you. Anyway, just my man, I think Rob from Long Island sent this to me, and I had to chuckle. And I'm not laughing at people. I just the doomsday stuff is nuts, and I'll go into this article from Bloomberg, silly. But it's actually interesting because I'll never forget in 1992 during the Bush Clinton year. There was not a recession. We had got beyond the recession, but the media was harping on it, like we were in the greatest recession since the Great Depression. It was just not true. But everyone thought like we're one paycheck away from going bankrupt, and then they'd interview people, say, "Well, how are you doing financially?" And they'd be like, "I'm doing fine, but it's my neighbor I'm worried about." And then they go over to that neighbor. How are you doing? How are you doing financially? Well, I'm doing fine, but it's my neighbor I'm worried about. So both neighbors were doing fine, but they're worried about each other because they're all one paycheck away from bankruptcy. It's just stupid, man. But the media was harping on that because it made it seem like we were all one paycheck away, and as such, we need a rescue. And of course, it wasn't Clinton because he only got 43% of the vote, but he won. Crazy. But now they're doing this with Sniffy Joe. And I'm like, this is odd. Typically when the Democrats in office, they say how good things are, or that the Republicans are obstructionists. But seeing articles like this come more and more, it's interesting to me that the media, they not, it's weird. I'm not sure what's happening here. Did the media get the approval from George Soros and Jeff Bezos and Carlos Slim, the people actually own the media, to write some negative articles about the economy? Because generally speaking, when the Democrats are in office, the economy is good, other than the Republican obstructionists. When the Republicans are in office, the economy is bad. Yeah, we're one paycheck away from going bankrupt, and not happening here. It's interesting. So anyway, it's Bloomberg. It's a silly article, but I'll share it with you. Julie Diaz stepped down from her job as a legal secretary last spring. Her retirement ended up being short and not so sweet. All right, so last spring. I mean, that could be in 2022 because that was last spring, or it could be in 2021. I don't know, and I didn't see where it said. But either way, she's been retired at no more than 15 months. Now 70, she's working day and night. All right. Instead of let's see, she works 12-hour overnight shifts in Phoenix, taking care of a 79-year-old with Parkinson's. After work, she goes home, take a nap, then drives more than 50 miles to babysit her granddaughters. Diaz's daughter, see, this is what cracks me up, man, because you see what is happening here, right? Diaz's daughter recently separated from her hub and started working at a restaurant, so she needs childcare to help pay thousands in legal fees to her divorce lawyer. That kind of gets swept under the rug here, but we're not going to talk about that. But she exemplifies the push and pull dynamics resulting in more seniors in the workforce. Let's see. Decades high inflation and retirement savings gouged by the falling stock market are forcing many to make ends meet. What started out as re-entering the workforce opportunistically has now become a necessity. And Diaz says, "We're all suffering from high gas prices and grocery prices. I've never felt such hard times in my life. People are staying inside their homes as much as possible because we can't afford to go out." Interesting. So Bloomberg is going to blame it on decades high inflation and retirement savings being gouged by the falling stock market. But they're not going to blame it on the divorce of her daughter, and the daughter needs child care to help pay thousands in legal fees to her divorce lawyer. We're not going to put it on that. We're going to put it on the high inflation and the high cost of food and gas. Anyway, it's interesting too. So we go down here and we see right here's Diaz. Hold on just a second. It was down here someplace. She's part of it. Oh, just find it. That's her. Diaz should be working for the long haul. Last year, she spent $40 to fill up her gas tank, but now forks over 60. She's also helping an adult granddaughter pay her rent after recently losing her job at a car dealership. If I didn't have this job, I wouldn't be able to help my family. As long as my health is good, I will do it. All right, so you see what's happening here? Her daughter's going through a divorce. Who knows? Maybe her husband's a scumbag. I have no idea. Her daughter needs some help financially, and Miss Diaz is a wonderful woman. She goes, "I'll help you, honey." She has an adult granddaughter who lost her job and needs some help too. It seems like Miss Diaz, to be perfectly honest, is probably an enabler. I'll do what I can to help you guys. Has nothing. So she's caught. So hey, let me deal with gas prices by driving 50 miles to help my daughter's grandkids or my grandkids. Yeah, that makes sense. That doesn't make sense. It literally. Okay, so I'm going to deal with the higher gas prices by driving more. It doesn't make sense. But the lawyer's fees and the fact her adult granddaughter needs help and she's asking Grammy, but they're going to put this on high inflation and food increases. And then Ms. Diaz says, it's just the whole thing is just what she say here. People are suffering from high gas prices and grocery prices. And I don't deny that, but this isn't what's causing her to go back to work. People are staying inside their homes as much as possible because we can't afford to go out. All right. Well, that I just look, man, and you can have in the Roaring '20s and the 1980s and 1999. There's always people without. I mean, even Jesus said, "The poor will always be with us." Ooh, it's very dark and rainy, very ominous out there. Ooh. Anyway, if you want to help your kids and grandkids, you're probably gonna have to go back to work, man, because you don't do a retirement plan uh, under the auspices. I'm gonna help my grandkids and my kids when they get divorced and when they lose their jobs. Most likely, you do a retirement plan for you. If you want to do that, it's fine, but you're not being forced back. It's just this, man, more freaking fear porn stuff. It drives up to all. All right, love your thoughts. We'll see you.